Participants, good afternoon again. Welcome back to the final lecture of day 5 of new IPR 2021. Today, for this lecture, we have the most experienced expert speaker, Dr. SKKAR. I'll just give a brief introduction. Of course, we have shared the profiles of all speakers with the participants, but as a kind of formal introduction, I'll just introduce you. I'll just introduce him to you once again. Dr. Kar holds bachelor degree in mechanical engineering and postgraduate in tool design, and also he holds MBA and MSc in total quality management. He has got his PhD under the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering in Metal Matrix Nanocomposites, and he is an extensive. He has extensive experience as a project manager, and he has studied quality management in Japan, and he also has got black belt in Lean Six Sigma from IIT Kharagpur, and also ASQ USA. He is a qualified intellectual property rights management person or consultant from WIPO Academy, and he has got so many awards and so many accomplishments to his credit. Presently, he is the Chief of Marketing, Consultancy, Corporate Training, Quality and Intellectual Property Facilitation Services at Technical Incubation Center, CTTC, Bhubaneswar. He has approved as Quality Chief by DGAQA, Ministry of Defense, and ISRO, dealing with technologies for manufacturing and quality assurance for LCA, Tejas aircraft, hardwires and space mission programs. He has got more than 33 years of experience in various capacities in the field of quality, designing, production, training and consultancy. And he has been the member of various national and international bodies or associations. Of course, I am not going to read the complete list here. And he is a lead consultant and trainer on lean manufacturing, implementation, total quality management, and human resource management. He is empaneled as a faculty for National IPR Promotion Campaign with the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Government of India. He is a member of National Technical Committee for IPR Schemes and Policy of Ministry of MSME, Government of India. And he has also recognized with several national awards such as Udyoga Ratna, Vikas Ratna Gold Medal for outstanding achievements in academic and professional field. He is also a recipient of MSME Promotion Executive Award from the State Government of Odisha. And he has guided so many MTech and PhD students, and he has got several publications to his credit. With this brief introduction of Dr. Kar, now I invite him to conduct the session on innovation, IPR and entrepreneurship. I hope all the participants will get the complete insights on the connect between innovation, IPR and entrepreneurship. Dr. Kar, the forum is open for you, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pawan Kumar. Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. I wish all the esteemed participants and our program coordinating officials are fine and safe and fine during this pandemic of the COVID-19. At the outset, I convey my sincere thanks and gratitude to the IMT team and INTEC for organizing such a national level program, which is the need of the hour. As you know, when you talk about the innovation, what is innovation? To a common man's understanding, innovation greatly influences the quality of life. When you say quality of life, I remember one quote: the speed is calculated miles per hour, quality of life is calculated miles per hour. When you talk the miles per hour, every human being, we want quality of life, good life to live. this is being greatly influenced by the technology. And the technology in today's world is changing so fast, so that the innovation in the way of life, if we don't update ourselves, if you don't adopt new and better and improved technologies, then the product, any business we are doing, or any innovation or any research we are doing, or any organization we are managing, that becomes obsolete in the next moment. So it is very important today, right, for not for the micro, small, medium entrepreneurs, also and the startups, also very corporate world. Earlier, if you look at this innovation and IPR protection, the country like India was lacking to a great extent in IPR, because we never focus, our ecosystem was never tuned to focus on innovation and IPR. That's the reason India, if you compare in the comparison to the other developed countries, in our innovation IPR scale, we remain much behind. Even if you look at our academic system, research establishment, many of the academic institutions, though they are engaged in many kind of research, development and innovation activities, but if you look at the final figure, hardly any of them are in a position of commercialization. So unless there is any invention or innovation having commercial aspect, it is being used for the development of society, for service of the society, the innovation is of no use. And today's competitive world, innovation is the way of life, innovation is the need of the hour, we all agree to this. And this was completely 1 week duration program, all of you have undergone. Many of the eminent experts and speakers having domain expertise knowledge and vast years of experience in the domain field have already given you a lot of information, lot of inputs to understand in the context of the intellectual property rights. I am sure by this time you are well aware of different kind of intellectual property and its application, its issues and its challenges, and how to make best use of it. In today's context, I have been given this opportunity to speak few words to establish a connect and a linkage, talking about innovation, IPR and entrepreneurship. The topic will be talking about, before that I should speak about something CTTC, as he has mentioned. As you know, Central Tool and Training Center, it is known as the MSME Technology Center. It is an establishment under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India. And we are the prime, one of the premier institutions in the country, one of the premier technology centers in the country. Among presently out of 33 such MSME technology centers across the country, we are the best performing organizations. We are dealing with very high-end technology and innovations. Like we are working our the components, the assemblies are fitted to the any space mission you talk about. Mars mission, Moon mission, Gaganyaan mission, because we are a technology partner to the Indian Space Research Organization. We are giving our contribution to the LCA, Light Combat Tejas aircraft, which has been indigenously developed by Government of India, and it has been inducted to the Indian Air Force, which is creating a very good demand in export market. Many of the countries are showing their interest. We are the OEM supplier of the various fuel system line replacement units, not only manufacturing, assembling and testing, also designing under the Indonesian program of the Aeronautical Development Agency. We are also contributing partners for design, development, manufacturing, assembling and testing of such kind of hardware and equipments to the LCA Tejas aircraft. CTTC is basically a training, production and consultancy organization. Training, we are conducting more than 35 varieties of programs, right from the school dropout till postgraduate certification programs. Look at the previous record. Almost per year we have trained nearly 50,000 trainees per year in both long term and short term. Production, we do design, manufacture various tools, dies, components and hardware, as I mentioned, for the space mission and Tejas aircraft. We are having consultancy division. We provide technical and management consult services to the startups and micro, small and medium enterprises in different fields. As you know, in the present context, Government of India is focusing on the innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship creation and IP facilitation. CTTC Bhubaneswar is also playing a leading role among all such technology centers under the ministry, and probably one of the best IPFC under the Ministry of MSME. And with this little amount of the knowledge, experience as a professional, I am here to share my experience in the field of the innovation and IPR. Now, why we are talking today about, we are focusing on the innovation and IPR. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in 21st century, is the knowledge century. The century of the innovation and enterprise, entrepreneurship, where SME's core competencies will be punched out. Everybody, we are talking about the knowledge management. There is a move from an industrial-based economy to a knowledge or information-based one in this 21st century. It demands a top-notch knowledge management system to secure a competitive edge and a capacity for the knowledge. The new source of wealth is knowledge and not the labor, land or financial capital. It is the intangible intellectual assets. Please note it. The knowledge, the most important is, it is the intangible intellectual assets that must be managed. That is what the innovation and IP are the core of it. The key challenge of the knowledge-based economy is to foster the innovation. When you talk about knowledge-based economy, knowledge active social development, then what is the prime focus? The prime focus is the innovation. Yes, some of the information has been already shared by the previous speaker. Just to remind you, you know there is a global innovation index. The WIPO Academy, they are already making a survey, more than 138 countries across the world. And if you look at the trend of the global innovation index of India's position, this is like this. It is very horrible. In the year, it was in the year 2014, it was 76. 2015, it was 81. 2016 and onwards, if you look at it, there is an increasing trend. We are coming to a better position in the order like 66, 60, 57, 52, and 48. The last 2020 Global Innovation Index, India stands at 48th rank. It has been realized earlier, when you talk about the ecosystem of the innovation, our intellectual property right protection, it was not conducive, it was not supportive. That's the reason we are lacking. Now, the government of India and all technocrats, they have realized that if any country has to develop, they have to focus on innovation, technological development. What kind of technology? The technology which has wide application, which is having the very good scope of the commercialization, which can address the issues, problems, and challenges emerging today. That's why more focus on innovation in science and technology. That's the reason Government of India has taken a lot of initiatives, like it has established a National Innovation Council, focused on applied research. Now every academic institution, universities and established research establishment, they are getting ranked, they are getting scored based upon their applied research. Academic innovation, if you look at our academic system, in fact, I had the opportunity to visit some of the toughest institutions in the country as a committee member from the ministry to go and investigate. While I was talking a couple of years before, interacting with the very eminent professors, it is obvious the academic system does not have any scope for the innovation or the research which is having the commercial application. It is obvious the core interest in the academic institution is the publication of the papers for the award of the doctorate or the postdoctorate, and for the promotion of the professors. It was true, the truth was revealed, and it was reported to the Government of India. I am talking about 6 years before. But in today's scenario, when you look at every industry, every academic institution, every technology development, research establishment, all have been assigned the responsibility, they have been given the accountability to focus, to foster the innovation, to come out not with a mere invention, it must be a good innovation. Not merely a creative idea, it must have the good applicability for the shape of the society and to address the issues and challenges in the present scenario, and must have good scope of the commercialization. Setting up the technology business incubators is one of such initiatives. In many of the like IMMT and Technology Center, university, as you know, TBI, LBI, Livelihood Business Incubation, TBIs are getting set up to support the startups and the MSME entrepreneurs. The reason behind this, you know, many of the today's startup, today's micro, small and medium enterprise is having a lot of scope and opportunity to become a multinational company tomorrow. So that should be a good beginning. And from the very beginning, they should know what is likely to emerge in the future, what is going to happen in the year 2030, 40 and 50. If they can see it in ahead, well in advance, they can plan well so that today's micro, small and medium entrepreneur can become a good multinational company tomorrow. That's the reason technology business incubations are there, so that's the ecosystem. The startup kids, they do not have them, they have the brilliant idea, but they do not have the facilities. They do not know where to go. They do not know what kind of services to avail it. They do not know how to protect their IP. They do not know how to convert their idea into a product or reality. And how to take it commercial scope, how to connect to the market. Those kind of facility services under the Government of India's initiatives through different departments, through different ministries, technology business incubation centers are being established. IPFC, as you know, the lack of awareness is to a very high extent in a country like India. Because many of us know, even the researchers, scientists, professionals, they are not aware about the what is intellect, how to protect the IP, when to protect, and how to protect, and where to protect. So that is the thing, that kind of lack of awareness is creating a lot of problem. As you know, intellectual property protection in a country like India, most of the developing, not only India, most of the developing countries, innovators are less, hijackers are many. That's the reason, so we should be very careful when you are coming with a new brilliant idea, new innovative idea, how to protect it. That kind of knowledge and awareness must be there. And that then must be facilitated by a reliable agency. Some of the experts should provide us the guidance so that we can think, we can see, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We can move ahead with our dream. We can move with our business idea which is conceived in our mind. So that is the reason these IPFCs are established under the Ministry of MSME, I think more than 70 IPFCs, and under Department of Science and Technology, and there are many other corporates and many of the ministries, many such IP facility centers. More than 100 IP facility surveys are operational across the country. And there is another, going one step ahead, let me remind CTTC Bhubaneswar, we are also having one TIS, Technology Innovation Support Center. WIPO is having one wing, Technology Innovation Support Center. In India, in collaboration with Ministry of Trade and Commerce, CPAM, they have established almost 13 such technology innovation support centers, and we are fortunate to have one such center in eastern part of this country in Bhubaneswar, and the other one is at NRDC, Visakhapatnam. This reason behind this, these technology support centers will connect the startups, research scholars, innovators, micro, small and medium entrepreneurs to the global, so that to the expertise, to make them aware the knowledge and the services of the experts, not only from the regional level, not only from the central level, also at the national level and global level. And there is a lot of opportunities exist. Startup facilitation centers, technology development centers, change in academic syllabus. This is also another initiative, because to Government of India, suppose if you improve like this, if this is the trend, it may take long time. Government of India is planning to be very soon among the best top 20 innovative country, and everybody is eyeing at India for the innovation and IP protection is concerned, technology development is concerned. If India is really wants to do to be globally, India is emerging as a globally competitive, technologically competitive country. If you can see the Mars mission, the success of the Mars mission, it has shown the success history, it has shown the technological capability to the world. In the first mission itself, at the very lowest amount of expenditure, it became successful. That means India is having technology development capabilities. Indian youth, Indian scientists, Indian engineers having the talents and ability. Only thing what is lacking, there is not be support. That is synchronized. That must be converged, must be aligned with organized with the national mission and national objective. That's the reason. Understanding the importance of the innovation and intellectual property rights, protection, knowledge and capacity building. The All India Council of Technical Education has already made a circular to an UGC. UGC, the top-notch administrative body, regulating body for the academic in the country of the university, already made a circular to all that IP has to be introduced as a compulsory subject in all academics. In fact, in master degree and PhD, I think many of the universities also they have introduced with a 4-credit based like research methodology, already it has been introduced as a compulsory subject. In Bachelor of Engineering, like BPUT and many of the universities, many of the scholars, many of the professionals here, they also might be in the same ecosystem, that intellectual property has been introduced as a compulsory subject to the syllabus. That means that is the amount of the priority and importance is given. And if that is the reason, today, the knowledge in innovation IPR probably makes us to be considered as literate. It's not like 30 years before, the person who was able to know reading, writing the things and have able to get a sign, a signature, was known as literate. That term is becoming obsolete. Now today the scientists, the engineers, managers and executives, those who understand the ecosystem, those who having the knowledge of the innovation, knowledge of the intellectual property right, then they will be considered as the literate, they will be considered as the literate persons. That is the kind of the ecosystem command today. We are talking about the digital world, we are talking about the digital leadership, we are talking about the technology. So that is the reason, that is the need of the hour, it is the demand. And what was linking earlier? Industry academia linkage. Academic, the kind of the education being provided in the educational institutions, universities, there is a wide range of a gap. What is needed to the industry? What is being provided in the academic institution? To bridge this gap, so that everything, all syllabuses, programs, NSQF compliance programs are getting done, which will meet to the industry requirement. And that is why industry and academia collaboration in the field of the innovation, grassroots level implementation. If you want to take the innovation to the grassroots level, if you want to make our innovation available, the IP facilitation available to the grassroots level like artisans, rural entrepreneurs, then it needs a strong ecosystem of the industry and academic linkage. Already those kind of things has been started. It has been proved successful, the model, the mechanism which has been initiated by both in the collaboratively, joint collaborative with the different research establishments, state government, central government. That is why it is becoming now effective. That's the reason by the year 2020, now we are in the rank of 48. If this trend continues, this kind of efforts, like that is the reason, one of the reasons behind this, IMT Tech has started this program. It is contributing to the national ecosystem of the innovation IPR by creating the awareness, bringing different people from the different sectors, connecting different professionals in one platform. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the initiative, this is what the need of the hour. We must be a part of this ecosystem to know the things and to transfer the knowledge to our friends, colleagues, and other partners, those who are in the process, in the journey of the social development. Yes, when you talk about the invention and innovation, we all understand, many discussion has been made, many definition is given. Just to quickly brief, invention is the creation of a product or the introduction of a process for the first time. There's nothing to be confused. Innovation happens when someone improves or makes a significant contribution to something that has already been invented. It has to contribute something significantly. It should be applicable. It should be improved upon. Innovation, the term itself, it takes many things in its basket, in its pocket, like there must be a vision, there must be creativity, there must be inspiration, there must be a solution to the problem, there must be intelligence, that is the creation of the mind, there must be an idea, ultimately, which will convert the things to reality, which will find a solution to the problem. Innovation, the idea to the market. Innovation comes out of great human ingenuity and a personal passion. Unless there is a passion, there could be no innovation. It is the product of intellectual mind. The innovation on IP gets generated when an intellectual mind started working. It started thinking about a problem, started finding in search of a solution for a problem. So innovation means it is inspiration, perseveration, and perseverance. When you look at the typical flow, what is innovation? There must be a wish and imagination. It becomes an idea. Then it gets take a flow, go to the further step, there must be a feasibility, there must be some creativity, that becomes your invention. Invention further, when it moves forward, there must be a viability, there must be entrepreneurship, it becomes innovation. And this idea of viability, having commercial scope and having scope of entrepreneurship, this becomes desirability and leadership. It becomes the business. That is where the cycle, that is where the flow of the innovation to the business, idea to the business. This innovation can be in the product, can be in process, can be in organization, can be in marketing. So the heart and soul of any organization is the creativity and innovation. It could be, there could be inside, that there will be some of the inside, problem, solution, and business model. Yeah, this is innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Steve Jobs. Whether you are a leader or you are a follower, if you are tuned to, you are accomplished to various kinds of innovations, various kinds of IP protection, then you become a leader. You are not a follower. So every entrepreneur must be a leader. So leader किसको बोलते हैं? लीडर वो है जो हवा के रुख से नहीं बदलते लेकिन खुद हवा के रुख बदला देते हैं. They never go by the way of the wind's direction. They change the direction of the winds. जैसे कागज के टुकड़े, कोई हवा में कागज के टुकड़े जमीन के ऊपर गिरा होता है, पड़ा रहता है, तो हवा के डायरेक्शन दिशा के हिसाब से ऊपर उठता है. लेकिन जो पतंग है, the kite which is made of a piece of paper, it is designed such a way it goes against the wind and flies high. That means there is an innovation, there is a design thinking, there is an idea which converts this problem into the opportunity. We make the best use of the same piece of paper by a mere innovation, inventive ideas, mere innovation, and makes and gets us feel joy. That is the sweet spot of the innovation. The sweet spot for the innovation could be desirability, a desirable solution on that your customer really needs. There must be a viability, a profitable solution with a sustainable business model. There must be a feasibility, a feasible solution building on the strength of your current operational capabilities. There are some of the key drivers of the innovation: financial pressure to reduce the cost, increase efficiency, do more with the less, increase competition, shorter product life cycle, value migration, stricter regulation, industry and community needs for the sustainable development, increased demand for the accountability, demographic and social and market changes, rising customer expectations regarding service and quality, changing economy, greater availability of the potentially useful technologies, coupled with need to exceed the competition in these technologies. When we are looking at the new conditions for the innovation, the small startup entrepreneurs increasingly depend on the large firms as supplier or the customers for venture finance, for exist opportunities, for knowledge, production, market and research and development, and for opening new markets. So now we look at to consider how innovation does not require, one innovative mind does not require any formal qualifications. It's not that the people having the doctorate, postdoctorate, not need to be a good, tough scientist. A mere citizen, mere person without having formal qualifications. There are many such as Thomas Alva Edison. What is his qualification? We know there are many great scientists, great innovators without having a formal qualification, great innovators. But I would like to share a live example. Many of you might be aware, he is a very known person, an engineering dropout, a grassroots innovator with 140 patent grants, Uddhav Bharli from Assam. He has received the award from the President of India. Uddhav Bharti, born on 7th April 1962 in North Lakshmipur, Assam, is the first Assamese to win NASA prize for his splendid design of a mini protonite descender. You can see a common man without having a dropout has become a leading innovator and ahead of many of such scientists when we people like us are behind him. Just to see, please look at it. Thank you very much. I think Mr. Uddhav has taught us very nicely what is innovation. There is no comparison to this kind of thing. So, how this comes? Very rightly is being explained. You have to feel the pain. You have to open your eyes, start thinking how to find. So, we all come across, there is a term comes like design thinking. Design thinking is neither art nor science nor religion. It is the capacity ultimately for integrated thinking. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of the people, the possibilities of the technology, and the requirements of the business success. There are 10 principles of design thinking. We have to, while making any design thinking, we have to look at this point. Is action-oriented? Is it support change? Focus on the human? Develop the foresight? Is it dynamic and iterative? Promotes empathy? Reduces the risk? Creates shared meaning? Relies on an adaptable process? Combines logic and creativity? We have to examine, we have to cross-link, we have to check with these parameters. Design thinking, you look at, this is the very primitive age. This was the invention of the whole. Small example. You can see the computer. A large computer for the data processing activity has come to the laptop, palm top, even we can talk about the before, fingertops, very to smallest possible, the tiniest of the size. What is innovation? Innovation is an invention paired with a process and a market. Only there must be a process and there must be a market. Entrepreneurship bridges the gap. There is a technology opportunity and there is a value. Entrepreneurship is the linkage, it is the bridge. The entrepreneurship process, there is an opportunity, there is a resource. Opportunity is identified. What does it make? It identifies the need, find the solution for the problem, unfair advantage. And it acquires the technology rights, people, money. These are the resources. Innovation value chain, if you look at the innovation value chain, this teaches us there is applied creativity, there is a discovery, new ideas, knowledge and concept, invention, technology and business models, innovation, useful implementations, commodities, goods, services or experiences. Needs value, adds value in the market value, that market analysis, qualitative research, surveys, concept testing, technical export, beta test, market launch, satisfied customers and backlog. It adds management value. It's the value against the time, like chief technologist, president, marketing vice president, controller, manufacturing vice president, sales manager, chief financial officer, and human resource manager. It adds technological value, right from the concept to the market introduction, mind to the market, concept, feasibility or the prototype, patent application, working prototype, manufacturing prototype, regulatory approvals, and introducing to the markets. So smart business model is to be, they have to focus on this point, like follow your passion. If I am to a startup, I'm an entrepreneur, what I need to follow the passion. Being passionate about your new business will help you to survive. Create your new venture as a global born. Focusing initially on a local market is fine, but do not lose sight of the global opportunity. Look at the global opportunities, not only the local market. No one understands your customers. No one understands your markets. Focus on year one. Get that right. Have several exit strategies already when you start. Work with the global enablers. But the primary characteristics of an entrepreneur is passion for the business, product, understanding the key of the product or the customer requirement, tenacity despite failure. Even there is a fail, nothing to be worried. You must be able to withstand, you must move forward, and execution. These are the successful parameters. What is the problem with many of us? Why this ecosystem? What is the biggest roadblock? I look at this story, it is nothing but the mindset. During last 5 years, our innovation and IP ecosystem, there is an increasing trend when you look at the data. Why it was not happening since so many years? Because it was not being understood. We are with a traditional mindset. Nobody is thinking about the innovation. चलता है, ऐसा ही है, ऐसा नहीं होगा, ये मेरा काम का नहीं है, मैं पढ़ा लिखा आदमी नहीं है, मैं क्या इनोवेशन कर सकता हूँ, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बन सकता हूँ. With many a time, what we become handicapped by having very strongly this kind of mindset. If you want to prosper, if you want to innovate, if you want to do something, you have to change your mindset. I think there's a story, the elephant, a small baby elephant, when it's tied up with a small rope, while it's in baby's condition, baby stage, and it continues to grow in the same condition, when it becomes a big elephant, it has got a lot of strength, enough strength. It can break this rope with which it has been tied up, but never does it, because they believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. Because the elephant is held back not by the funny rope, but it's the belief system. Yes, I cannot do it, I can break it. So yeah, we have to change our belief system. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can achieve it. Yes, I can be an innovator. I can be an entrepreneur. I will be a successful professional, successful entrepreneur. ये mindset जब तक हम लोग change नहीं करते हैं, ये attitude में जब तक हम लोग बदलाव नहीं लाते हैं, we cannot change. We cannot become an innovator. We cannot become a successful entrepreneur. We cannot succeed in our professional life too. So believe in yourself. Say, yes, I can do it. It's not like that. Like an elephant, I cannot do it. No funny rope can tie up with us. Our strength is increasing. Ecosystem is increasing. Many enablers are there around us. We have to take this opportunity. We have to avail this opportunity. We have to keep our eyes open so that we can encash it, convert it into an opportunity. So, when you connect the innovation and entrepreneurship, what is entrepreneurship? To understand this, the word entrepreneur originates from the French entrepreneur, to undertake in a business context. An entrepreneur is someone who starts a business. The concept of entrepreneurship covers a wide range. An entrepreneur is a person with a vision of very high aptitude and a passion, possessing characteristics found in only a very small fraction of the population, who pioneers the change. That is the biggest challenge. A very small portion of the population, they are having the changing attitude, having the progressive attitude, they have innovative and entrepreneurial attitude. Now, in a country like India, when we are talking about India, the demographic dividend is one of our strengths. More than 60% population of our country like India are youth. If we do not, whereas we do not have sufficient opportunity to provide them employment. So the demand and supply, there is a big gap. So that is the reason the entrepreneurship, if this opportunity is converted, this problem of the unemployability has to be converted into an opportunity of creating entrepreneurship, so that our educated youth, our creative mind, intellectual brain should not look after, they should not search after job, they should not be job seeker, they should be job givers. That's the reason LBI, TBI, Technology Business Incubation Center, a strong ecosystem is getting developed, a mechanism is getting set up, ease of doing business, Startup Odisha, Startup India, and Startup from the respective and the state government and the central government, all are connecting each other, connecting the dots. Yes, we can build, we can connect our Indian youth mind to convert into a strong entrepreneurs, job providers, technology developers. That is what the need, that what is what the entrepreneurship focus. Who starts a business with a fresh idea to make something better or the less expensive, to make it in a new way or to satisfy unique need. The visionary wants to do something that no one else has done because they can. Because it is an interesting and exciting, and because it may be meeting the need. What is the future startups organization? When we are sitting today in the 21st century, in the year 2021, when you look at the future, say 2030, 2050, 2080, we must be visionary. We must be innovate, be in our approach, otherwise industrial revolution will die. 52% of the Fortune 500 company disappeared last 15 years. Average life expectancy of the companies is 15 years. Today's new product or service is becoming obsolete by tomorrow. Future organization should be more adventurous, entrepreneurial in its thinking and culture, nimble in executing the new strategy, fast-moving, risk-taking, rapid-fire innovation. Future organization are a bunch of startups, bunch of existing business. That is what the synergy. That is, we are all talking about the startups. These are the principles. what are the principles to become the startup, successful startups. So that is why when you take the startup kit, why such incubation centers? Why we are focused on startup kits? Why the incubation center, we understand when the baby takes birth, what is happening is having less resistance to the environmental system. It has got no strength to withstand the environmental temperature, environmental condition. He or she might expose to vulnerable condition. There could be a life risk. In case of anything imbalance in the physiological condition, that creates a life risk. So it needs incubation support. It needs incubation care. That's the reason the baby will withstand. It will, over a period of the time, its body resistance will be increased. It will be conducive. It will be accommodable to the external environment and can sustain and survive. Similarly, the incubation centers, the TBI, LBIs, which are established at the different establishment under the initiative of the state government and central government, the reason behind that, the startup kits built up, that to be strengthened, they have to be facilitated, they have to be supported, they have to be given all kind of support and strength so that tomorrow they can be converted into successful entrepreneur. Startup kit can become a one of the multinational company tomorrow. That the ecosystem talks all about it. So what are the care to be taken by a startup kid when you are starting a business? When you are starting with a small idea, when you are starting working with a small one business idea, then these are the few parameters we have to take care as a startup kid. Trust your mind. See the market opportunity. Keep thinking about the different ideas. Accept feedback. Smell your success. Protect your ideas. Protect your ideas. If you don't protect, your idea may die. That is where IP or intellectual property right comes. Project your achievements. Share your success stories. Spread the word. Word of mouth is best. Do marketing. Yes, you are doing the best job. It is one of the best innovative idea, one of the best innovative product, having a quality, consistency, and reliability. And let the advertisement publicity be through the word of mouth. Feel for your employees. Connect your employees, all partners, all stakeholders. So they are owner of this. Have hands-on approach. Fight the opposition. Identify the risk in your business. Make a risk analysis. It could be the market risk, it could be IP risk, it could be investment risk, it could be technological risk. So legal risk, you look at all kind of the risk. One must evaluate. Assess the value for your ideas. When you talk about the identify the risk in your business, here, intellectual property right, like FTO analysis, freedom to operate analysis, market competitive intelligence analysis, all sorts of IP portfolio management, all sorts of analysis, all sorts of data, informations, which we acquire from the global database, that helps us to take a decision. So yes, my business is risk-free from any kind of infringement. I'm not going to infringement anybody's ideas, whether it could be a trademark, product branding or promotion, it could be a technological intervention, it could be the market. So this kind of analysis gives a lot of inputs, maybe time for which we can discuss sometime later. Assess the value of your ideas, make your idea value assessment, IP valuation. There is also, this comes under intellectual property right portfolio in the baskets. Let investors not strip you. Many a time, the startup kid, due to the lack of knowledge, lack of awareness in this IP, what happens? He gets stripped off, gets exploited by the investors. If he is educated enough, he knows about the legal aspect. He knows if he is having the rights to, ability to negotiate with the investor, understanding the IP value and importance, then naturally he cannot be stripped out by the investors or any other partners. Many such cases are, we have the experience how we are supporting startup. I will be sharing later stage. Ankle deep water is okay. Somebody has to take a risk, but you can take the risk. If you need deep water for a startup, look out the help. He should look for the help. If there is a neck deep water, the time to jump out. You find in the business idea with which you are working, this is really finding difficult. He is thinking himself suffocation. He is in the state of the neck deep water, then he should jump out. He should think something else. He should not get a dive. We can do that. Have a hands-on approach. Have your feet on the ground. You must stand on the ground. Look at the world. What is happening around the world? What is my idea? What is my business segment? How I am connecting to the entire world, to the society, to the business community. Entrepreneurship transform leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking today about fourth industrial revolution. That is why I'm talking about the technology, innovation, IoT, data analytics, 3D printing, many things we are talking about technologies. So entrepreneurial leadership is also equally important. When you talk about the industry 4.0, everything also should be at the fourth industrial revolution. When you talk about the quality 4.0, quality 4.0, it has to be integrated to the production system. No more inspection. Similarly, leadership 4.0. The today's entrepreneur, today's startup, today's manager must be a leader, must be a manager of the 4.0. He must have that ability to drive this innovation. He must have that ability to give a lead those kind of technological developments and to take it way forward. If you look at that, is why today's entrepreneur, today's startup must have the transformational leadership. He must bring a transformation. He must bring a change from one part to the other. He must bring something more good, a transformation. So when you look at this, the Bruce Javorio has told for the first decade, research has supported the idea that on the average, transformational leadership is far more effective than the transactional leadership in generating the higher levels of extra efforts, commitment and performance and satisfaction of those leaders. So it is no more this is not a transactional leadership. Now what you require, the transformational leadership. There are four important elements to understand to be understood by any manager, by any entrepreneur, by any startup. Or what is a transformational leadership is? Idealized influence. The first element is to be a positive role model. The leader serves as a positive role model for the followers. The leader is admired because he or she walks the talk. There is other component, other point is he should have the another characteristic is impersonal motivational. The second element is that the transformational leaders have the ability to inspire and motivate their followers. Combine this with the idealized influence, and this is the source of the transformational leaders, the charismatic leadership. The individual-led consideration is the transformational leaders demonstrate genuine concern for the need and the feelings of the followers. This personal attention to each follower is a key element in bringing out their very best efforts and in developing the followers' leadership potential. We want the final, the intellectual stimulation. We are talking about the transformational leadership. We are talking about the leadership 4.0. We are talking about the technological leadership of the future. What is important here? Another point, that is intellectual stimulation. The final element is the leader's ability to challenge followers to be innovative and creative. It's not only leader itself. Each follower must be innovative. Each team member must be an innovative and creative. Then we can substantially contribute for the growth of the organization, for the sustainability of the organization and the growth of the nation. A common misunderstanding is that transformational leaders are soft, but the truth is that they constantly challenge followers to higher levels of the performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the age of the Industry 4.0, revolution of Industry 4.0, then the transformational leadership for the startups and the MSME entrepreneurs plays a big role. There must be a leader, there must be a driver, technology driver, there must be an IP driver, so that his team members, his employees, his colleagues, his partners will be followers to him. Now we are talking why IP education is important today. The young business school students speak. I want to be an entrepreneur, wanted to be well informed before starting up my own business by knowing the basics. It's very important and useful in terms of the business environment and especially for the entrepreneurs. It's crucial having a knowledge of IPR, not only for managing the team, but advising, but more importantly, if you become an inventor and an entrepreneur. So invention and entrepreneurship is very important. We have briefed about, we have established a link. What is the innovation? What is the incubation? What is the entrepreneurship? And briefly touching upon the IP, intellectual property rights. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of inputs has been given by different eminent speakers. You are quite educated by this time. Just I will touch upon some of the elements. Ideas created innovation, like when you talk about the IP exclusivity, it is an exclusive right, territorial right to the owner of the idea. That is called patent, trademark, copyright, design, IC layout, geographical indication, plant varieties, and trade secrets. IP for business is marketing, is making a mark, that is a trademark, creating a logo or brand, look good, having aesthetic part, that is a design, industrial design, invention for the future application, either the commercialization, that is what the patent. These are already discussed. Multiple IPs in a product, already many examples have been cited. One particular product that is having trademark, it's a name, brand, patent, the technological application, data processing, semiconductor, that kind of the thing, what is the functionality and utility part, copyright, software code, instruction manual, ringtone, these are the under copyright. Designs, aesthetic part, how does it look, overall shape, the color, this is the design. The different acts governing IP assets, which has been already discussed in other programs. Why IP is today ignored? Why you are talking, why you are emphasizing today on intellectual property today? Because it is underestimation of its importance. We were never estimating the importance and relevance in today's context. Time required for the grant of a patent registration is taking long time. And you know, for the patent in India was used to take earlier 3 to 4 years. If any innovator, he will definitely lose its hope when it takes such a long time. That is why Government of India has taken a lot of initiatives, had made a lot of revisions, lot of amendments, and to establish a strong ecosystem, the already time schedule has been made, many examiners have been appointed, so that the fastest way that can be examined and can be through. So that is under the process. Cost of the patenting. Okay, suppose I am having an innovative idea, I want to protect it. It's very expensive. If you go to a very good professional attorney, they charge rupees in thousands and lakhs, which a startup or a small entrepreneur, a research scholar cannot afford. It goes beyond his capacity. That's the reason for providing such kind of facilitation services to support this IP ecosystem, innovation IP ecosystem. IP intellectual property facilitation centers are established across the country in different organizations. Like one of such IP facilitation centers, we are having functional and operational during since last 3 to 4 years. Like NRDC is playing an IP facilitation center. Many such IP facilitation centers under the Ministry of MSME and Department of Science and Technology are established across the country. You can avail the services. For many of such services, either without giving any price or without any price or with a minimum price. Then enforcement of the IPR. That is also another issue, enforcement. Suppose any IPR somebody is infringing, my idea is being some infringement, I do not, due to lack of awareness, not in a position to enforce. Maybe sometimes also innocently, I infringe somebody's idea, trademark or the invention due to lack of knowledge. That kind of issues are there. Lack of awareness, myth that it can be computed, it can be valued. That is myth. IP का कोई value नहीं है. It cannot be valued. It is not tangible. Intangible क्या है? This is a very soft thing. It has got no value. But IP can be valued. Though it is an intangible asset, it can value like tangible asset, like a tangible property for the commercialization, for negotiation. And this can be audited. IP can be audited. IP can be valued. These are the different other subjects under this aspect: IP audit, IP value assessment, IP portfolio management. There are many such things are there. When we are talking, why IP protection is very important for the micro, small entrepreneur, startups or startup innovator, the research scholars. When you know a micro, small, what is happening? This is a micro entrepreneur, there is a small scale entrepreneur, startup, small scale entrepreneur, there is a corporate. Due to lack of awareness, due to lack of knowledge, due to lack of financial strength, due to lack of know-how about this, they are not in a position to protect their innovative ideas. So as a result of which, the big fees, big corporates, those who are having good financial health, those who are having good only dedicated IP attorneys, IP department, what they are doing? They are eating up these innovative ideas. They are eating up these interest of these startups and the small entrepreneurs. They don't stand in front of these corporates and big business houses or big entrepreneurs because of these things. So when you look at the second scenario, a startup, if somebody, a small entrepreneur is having a protection, a technical protection of IP in its industrial design, in its copyright, in trade secrets, in its patent filing, its trademark or the brand registration, legally he has the ability to fight against any big company. It does not scare up because it's not my IP, my intellectual asset, my brand, my patent, my technology, my innovation is well protected. Legally I stand at both national and international level. This is the power, this is the strength of IP protection. This is the beauty of IP protection. This is the support for one micro, small entrepreneur, this startup. So These are very small innovation is nothing. We have already understood a lot of things, how a small idea, small things can be converted into the product for its novelty. Like you can say this is merely a steel wire, but the same steel wire, when it is converted to a given a gem clip sleeve, and this becomes a patentable. This becomes a product having some its applicability. And further it is being designed aesthetically, it has been coated with the plastics, different color. This can go for the design registration, this can go for the patent registration. And if it is under particular like Gems Clip, Gems is the company or any kind of the brand, can go for the trademark registration. Similarly, same Gems Clip becomes also used as a tool for ejecting the seam out of the cell phone. So this becomes another application of this particular device. This is what the innovation is, small innovation, small innovative stage, small application which makes it versatile. There are quite a lot of examples like needles, the same piece of wire being given a shape of the example. It is a needle for the stitching the clothes, needle for the used in the machine stitching, needle for this surgery, needles for the fishing. So likewise, different needles are created. Like similarly, the scissors, you can see the scissor, the same item with a different design is having different applicability. It has some different functionality, different utility. Those are coming under patent, and the shape and size comes under the design, industrial design, and also it can be protected and manufactured by any company, the trade brand. The youngest patent holder, I would like to say, the Jaipur is nothing, doesn't require any formal qualification of the AA. There is nothing like a Jaipur, drawing inspiration from a scientist. Stephen Hawking, a wheelchair-bound 9-year-old boy, here has invented a game of a 6-player circular chess. The boy, Harideshwar Singh Bhati, has got the game's design patent in his name. Look, an invention, a design patent registration has been acquired as an by a disabled guy who is sitting in the wheelchair, who is not having. So it is nothing. It is not innovation can come. Every individual, all of us, having the creativity. We are born, we are God gifted with the innovative mind. Only thing we have to keep our eyes open. We have to foster our thoughts. We have to keep thinking about the innovation. We have to accelerate. We have to ignite our design thinking attitude and the minds. These are some of the design as you have been already explained by the different speakers. Aesthetic part. How does it look like? Once you get a design colored and the shape, nobody can copy anybody. If he copies, then he will be infringed. He will be legally sued. So this kind of trademark registration, name registration, logo registration, device mark registration gives a brand. It promotes the business at international level, at globally level, at the national level by distinguishing its brand. As you know, if there are thousands of bulbs in the series, there is one particular bulb is lighting, that means that is the brand. This lighted bulb is having something uniqueness. That's made by some company. It is having some brand. Brand as an intellectual property. These are the different claims, intangible assets like trademark, goodwill, patents, copyrights, mail list, brand names, license, franchise. These are already discussed. IP, as I told you, IP assessment, IP as a property is an assessment management. This case can be evaluated, it can be audited, this asset can be managed. And we'll be talking briefly about the IP due diligence, which is very important for the research scholars, innovators, and the entrepreneurs. What is due diligence? It involves analyzing the intangible assets of a business, checking a valid intellectual property rights, first if they are in and scope their protection, analyzing the risk involved with respect thereto, and in turn assessing their potential value. IP due diligence is essential in an audit to assess the quantity and the quality of intellectual property asset owned by or licensed to a company. Any IP, what it has to be assessed and valued, what is the worth of this, and it has to be investigated, it has to be searched, it has to be justified. If you can justify, you can satisfy, yes, this is what the value of this my idea, and you will find, you will invite many of the investors, you will invite many of the collaborative supporting partners, those will come to become a part of your intellectual property. So, there are 3 stages of the approach, divide them and goals IP due diligence into 3 components of the focused analysis. Like one is the prioritization of the objectives, the substantive investigation, you have to investigate substantially, analysis of the result. Once you investigate, once you inquire whether this particular idea exists anywhere or not, whether anybody this kind of logo or brand name anybody is using there or not, whether this is any kind of a legal dispute, again this particular idea is there, which are the country, who are all the innovators, scientists are working on this, whether this has been granted or objected, all these kind of information regarding your particular business idea, your idea, you can investigate through IP due diligence mechanism, through FTO analysis, market competitive intelligence analysis, which is we have to take the help of an expert who is having fair knowledge of this. IP due diligence region, understanding the value and the cost, market value and the IP and the cost of the maintenance is determined to avoid defects. This helps the investors avoiding any defects in the assumption of the reaching fair bargain in the deal. Protection, this helps both buyer and seller understanding the risk involved in the deal. And here the process is you have to do the priority goal, investigation and result analysis as I discussed. Like IP can be audited, it is one used when acquired by a business to uncover the underutilized IP assets, identify any threats to a company's bottom line. When we are working on a particular IP, intellectual property, it could be brand, it could be trademark, it could be industrial design, it could be patent or invention, then it gives us confidence once we make our IP audit, yes, whether any threat to the company's bottom line exists now or in future, we can get this kind of information. So this is company's IP assessment, agreement, relevant policies, compliant to the procedure. IP audit as a long subject. To answer brief, value and risk is a part of all companies' IP asset and IP portfolio. When at the time of buying, selling and business investment, so this IP due diligence plays a very important role. I will just because time is running out, I will just show you some of the examples. IP analysis as a due diligence are the invalidity, whether this idea is offensive or defensive reviews has to be done, whether it's valid or invalid. Freedom to operate, whether I'm allowed to use this technology. You know, many of the ideas are, as you know, the patent gets already gets to come to the public domain after 20 years of its registration validity. So whether I'm allowed to work on the same idea or not. Infringement, whether this my idea is infringing somebody's invention, somebody's right taken over it. Whether I can, whether somebody, anything enforcement has been done over this particular idea, whether there is a patentability exists on this my idea, whether there is a novelty, whether any newness, whether there is a commercial viability, this can be also verified, and other aspects of this during the due diligence process. This helps us, IP due diligence helps us because signing non-disclosure agreement. What is happening in our India or many of the developed countries, many of the innovators, they are scared of, are discussing with their idea with the different attorneys or the different people, because it has been seen in many cases that if you disclose without any proper understanding, proper legal document, so somebody before whom you are talking, you are disclosing your idea, what it does, it has happened, many cases have been reported, that what do they do, the concerned attorney or the professional in the name of helping, he takes all the information and files on his name and take the advantage of this. But original inventor, when it comes to the knowledge or if he tries to do something on that, then by that time he sees that somebody has already claimed, somebody has already granted, or somebody has taken the advantage of this. So that is why one should be very careful that when you are talking with anybody disclosing your idea, please sign one innovative non-disclosure agreement. And then confidentiality disclosure agreement, joint disclosure agreement. This kind of agreements, you have to be educated, you have to understand, yes, it should be agreement so that one cannot play with my idea. Research agreement, consulting agreement, technology transfer agreement or government contracts. These kind of things are necessary. Benefits for the startups and SMEs, based on the outcome of the audits and due diligence, the business can evolve informed strategies that will maintain and improve the company's market position. Be confident of their position in a wrongful infringement actions. Ensure all the IP assets are adding value to the business. So IP assets as a patent, design, copyright and trademark. There are different angel due diligence process like technology development, product development, process development, product supply, deliveries. In market, marketing, sales, public relations, competitors and intellectual property rights. Organization, recruitment, board, network of the service suppliers and offices, economic finance, cash profit, finance activity, cost estimation and budget. So IP due diligence also helps in this in different segments while we are making the IP management. As you know, you have already gone through these are the different industrial designs,
the case studies, many things has been already discussed. I need not cover. I would like to highlight the infringement. What is happening? Many a times, infringement is happening because of two reasons. Either it has many cases. We at CTTC IPFC, we are conducting an IPR clinic. Being a government of India establishment, we are having the linkage with many of the IP professionals, attorneys, many of the concerned departments of the national and international level. So we are trying our best to take up the cases of the micro, small entrepreneurs and the startups, those who are not aware, and so that they do not face any kind of problem. We take care of the two things. One is we make the IP due diligence, we make FTO analysis, market competitive intelligence analysis, make a detailed search, and to give them confidence, the idea they are working, the technology they are working, or the trademark or the brand they are going to take it, yes, it is free from any kind of infringement. And what is the amount of the value contained? Why do they stand with that kind of idea? Because there are you can see the infringement happens in many cases due to two reasons. One reason is startup or some of the entrepreneurs due to lack of awareness. They have innocent infringement. They have infringed innocently without having the knowledge. They do not know. Somebody has manufactured the product is Godrej. So what is that? Then he made also like a Godrej, just to sound the word is similar to the Godrej, so that he can sell the product, market value. Or he knows this product, this name is familiar, so I can sell my product. That is why he has infringed, either innocently or knowingly. Somebody likes to try to act smart. अरे गोदरेज का नाम है मैं गोदरेज का ऐसा लोग you, it will almost be similar to it will sound like Godrej, so that people will be biased. Many times many of us might be victim in the market purchasing some fake products in the name of the good brand, because the minor changes, minor modifications in the logo due to similar kind of the packaging. So that is the reason today you can find many of these spurious products are being sold. The oil, ghee, and many other food items are being sold by different companies. They are making that by duplicate packaging. They are infringing the brands, which is health hazardous, which is against these antisocial and criminal activities. So those things can be protected through infringements. That is called infringement. Infringement means knowingly or unknowingly you are trying to use somebody's invention, or you are working on somebody's invention which has been protected, or in the bar of the protection, or it is in use. Sometimes knowingly or unknowingly. Now if you look at, there is an infringement case. PepsiCo Incorporated, you can see this bottle and this bottle, almost similar color. Anybody can be confused. So there is a case, the fast bottling company court and the Delhi High Court there, the defendant was restrained from using the mark 11-up with a red ball device, which is similar to the registered 7-up. 7-up is a registered trademark, registered brand. This company has made similar like this and is making 11-up. So many people gets confused, take this 11-up by thinking that they are eating 7-up. So many times we get victim of the similar kind of package. Like similar another case, infringement, Cheetos and Cheetos. The defendant was restrained from using the similar mark Cheetos compared to the registered mark Cheetos. Cheetos is registered mark. Cheetos making a similar kind of product, they are trying to infringement. So the person who is the original owner of this, he has a defendant filed the case. Now I am talking about the innovation, small idea, how can you give you the wealth? This is a small device, design as what we are looking. A couple of years before, the Institute of Life Science in Bhubaneswar and the Magnetics India, one company here in Bhubaneswar, they are making an antibody, which is as a cancer protecting treatment used for the cancer, treatment of the cancers. So what they do, they collect the blood samples, keep in a box somewhere, and so that the magnetic particles get separated. And then they filter this and pour it, and then go take it for the testing. So they wanted there must be some high power of magnet inside, and here the blood samples should be kept. They wanted some device. Earlier they used to get a device from the France. It was costing around say 1800 rupees per piece. They came to us and we designed a device like this, which we thought that we can help. And by 3D printing, we made it in a sample product, and we got the design registration. It was costing around 300 rupees. You can see it is an import substitution. Small idea, but it made the big role. And for this, subsequently, there is a few startups from the KIT TBI. They were also under our IP facilitation center getting the services. So we tell them, so now this is to be imported, this is to be exported to the different countries. do something more, design another thing, not this becomes a bit traditional design, get some a bit more aesthetic part, and so that it can, they design it with, make it more sleek and design it. That particular device is not, I don't have the picture to show it. So when we saw it, that particular also we facilitated, got a registered design registration with the design register office. And that was more appealing nature. That was costing around 400 rupees per piece. And it was more appealing nature, more good quality, but the less size in its shape, volume technical shape was very less. So Institute of Life Science, when it's contacted, we offered them, look sir, you can take this design for your use. So Institute of Life Science and Engineers India Biotech Private Limited, both of them made an agreement, called these guys and took the designs from them and paid them quite high amount of money for taking the design, for running the design. Why I have to say, what I mean to say here, a small idea sometimes does not necessarily that every idea you have to make it for to establish an entrepreneurship. If you see there is a feasibility, there is a market demand for these kind of products, if you can put your idea, make a design, get it protected, how much money for this? For individual register, you pay only 1,000 rupees. Ladies and gentlemen, these startup kids, the startup guys from the KIT TBI, they have spent 1,000 rupees, but they got thousands of rupees. They got in lakhs rupees because when they sold this design, gave this design, licensed the design to the Institute of Life Science, Bhubaneswar and Engineers Biotech. Means a small idea. If you can convert, you can look at the opportunity, market demand, that is why I was talking, what should be your way of design thinking. If you focus on that, you can convert into the wealth easily. So we are, I would like to say, the IPR clinic we are conducting, we help the micro and smaller startup units, support them for their IP improvement or to make them awareness. There is a case came to us, Grameen. There is a boy here, there is a startup, he was working here in Raghunathpur near Bhubaneswar. It is very peripheral of the Bhubaneswar Urban. So he was manufacturing the khadi clothes. He was stitching the khadi pants and the trousers and selling in the all India level market. It was very good quality of the structures. He wanted to participate in one exhibition at Delhi. So what he done? He has taken the help of somebody, one attorney. I don't blame all attorney friends, but all people are not good. Some people try to deceive, some people try to cheat the friends. They try to make money as a profession. They are not honest, they are not ethical to the profession. Somehow he was cut by one unethical and attorney who was really not ethical to him, who did good for him. What did he took a good amount of money? For registered for trademark filing, it cost only 4,500 rupees online, physical filing online, and 4,000 rupees physical filing 4,500, 4,000 rupees for online application. That fellow took nearly 25,000 rupees, including the government fee. That fellow has paid to him. And after 6 months, when this boy asked, because he was getting ready for the exhibition, taking lot of clothes, these clothes to the exhibition in Delhi. So when we contacted attorney, he advised him, okay, your things are ready, please pay me another 10,000 rupees, I will give you. And your trademark is registered, everything is ready, you just pay me 10,000, I will go and get it from Kolkata. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the lack of awareness, this is the degree of awareness. Today is the digital world. Now you can get all the information about the patent application, your trademark application, design application, and putting your application number at your fingertip in your mobile phone. ipindia.gov, you go, put your application number, decide the class, you can get all, whether it's objected, whether everything, you can get status. But this poor fellow, poor startup, due to lack of knowledge, he was believing 100% to the attorney, he was going driven by the attorney. So what he did, he thought, okay, he was about to give him 10,000 rupees. And since he was assured that he will be getting this, already he has got his registered, trademark registered. So what he did, he has spent around 4 lakhs rupees for designing and making the product packing boxes, tags and other things, other materials. So that he can go to with a great aspiration and great ambition that he will go and display in the exhibition at Delhi. So it is the most unfortunate thing, before paying 10,000 rupees, he went and approached one local industry association. Sir, already I have paid 25,000 rupees. This gentleman is asking, should I pay him? Then what is that industry association fellow, that secretary, he directed him, no, you go and talk to CTTC IPFC, go and meet Dr. Kaur and probably he will guide you. Go and just consult before paying the money. Then he ran to us. When he came to us, we immediately logged into the site and put that number, application number, we found that is objected. He cannot get the grant for this. The reason is, already in the same name, same brand, Grameen, there is a trademark which is registered. There is one of the company in Kerala, Keral, who is manufacturing the same clothes, same class, got registered from the year 2007. He is actively in the business. This gentleman is unknowingly, he has already increased and already started on business. So immediately we advised him, instead of you think for this, okay, forget about 4.5 lakhs rupees, whatever you have spent for this, now it is advisable, please go and withdraw all materials wherever it is in public display. Because if it comes to the notice and the knowledge of the person who has already got the register, it is obvious, his business loss, he has increased directly trademark and brand reputation, then in that case, he will sue the case, he has to pay in lakhs rupees. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of situation happening due to lack of awareness. So, before going for the trademark registration, brand register, anything, please take the support and help of the IP professionals, IP facilitation centers. Especially, you can rely upon, there are many IP attorneys, those are empaneled by Government of India, that they will provide you free of services. Because they are being paid the professional fee from the Government of India. They are registered with the DPIIT. So you please talk to them, you will find their names in the list when you search in the site, or you can search the IPFC, IP Facilitation Service Centers, like established at the different research establishment, technology centers, universities. Go to the Ministry of MS, you can search for the IP Facility Centers in India. You will find their list under the different ministry. You can identify nearby IP Facility Centers. So it is not required nearby, you can connect, because to the digital level, you can connect to any IPFC in India. And you can connect, you can ask your problem, and you can consult them, they can take their, please seek their advice. Before that, it is always better that you get yourself educated to understand the basic knowledge on the IPR. What to do, how to do, when to do, and how to do. If you have that understanding, you can then think where to go and how to go. Kiske paas jana hai, kisse ye help lena hai, who is the right person to help us. Please get your, that is the reason these kind of programs, wide campaigns are being launched across the country through different organized establishments, and one of such noble initiatives is taken today under the our IMMT. These are some of the stories I was mentioning. The FTO. This is another a startup here by Odisha. He came with an idea. We helped him market competitive intelligence analysis and FTO analysis. This report we educated him. He is a very smart guy. He is educated. He is MTech from UK in aeronautical engineering. And he was working in many leading aerospace sectors in the USA and UK. So this guy, when we gave him this kind of report, he was very much excited, and he was having 15 different innovative ideas. So he requested us to provide. Ladies and gentlemen, for one FTO analysis, if you contact any professional attorney, they will charge you nothing less than 70,000-80,000 rupees, because it needs an exhaustive search in a paid database, worldwide database, by an expert. It will take minimum 3 to 4 days of your time, for his time. So in that case, what happened? The IP Facility Center like us, we are established, we have the expertise. We charge only 10,000 rupees including GST. Market Competitive Intelligence Report, we charge only 5,000 rupees including GST. This investment of the 5,000, 10,000 rupees is a very support, it is a big value. Because this, when you support your idea with this kind of FTO analysis report, market competitive report, put before any investor, before any granting agency, before any approving agency, any regulatory agencies, they appreciate, because you will get all detailed information. I think it has been already regarding FTO analysis, some information is provided by you. And this is a very success story. He has got 72 crores. He has already signed the MOU agreement with some of the companies in the USA and Singapore. Those will support money for product development up to his innovative ideas and taking it to commercialization. This value. Another is a BIREC project. One of the dentists, Dr. Laura Misra, in a local institute of dental science at Bhubaneswar. She came with a novel endemic filing of the viewing box. She came with a novel idea. We worked on this. We helped her. We prepared all supporting documents like market analysis. We prepared documents. She applied to BIREC and got nearly 48 lakhs rupees grant, 50 lakhs rupees grant. So when you are putting your ideas to BIREC, Department of Science and Technology, or any statutory bodies, please, you acknowledge your ideas along with supportive documents, sufficient information, so that your idea, your proposal is strengthened, and the authority or the investor or the approving authority or the regulatory authority, they will have the clear-cut idea about this. GI, as you know, the Kandhamal Haldi, geographical indication, I might have taught, it is a territorial IP grant to the any particular product. So like Kandhamal in Odisha is a place which is famous, it is a tribal area, it is famous for haldi. It has many good qualities, herbal, it has good medicinal properties, it has having good spice, so that is used as a good recipe for the food preparation in Indian dishes. So then this is also good, many other property materials are used for this. So this Kandhamal haldi, CTTC IPFC has taken the services, it is provided the facilitation, we have done investigation, we have done the due diligence, we have provided all documentation. Within a shortest period of time, it has made the history in India. Within just 1 year of the time, the GI application, right at the starting of the application till the grant, within 1 year we have got it grant. So we also provide various GI facilitation services for the GI products. This is one product, one person here from a local organization, Mr. Haldar, Subrat Haldar. He came with a design facilitation services he got from us, assistant. He came with an idea how to design a chair for the, develop a low cost effective automatic wheelchair for the person suffering from the cerebral palsy. So whatever we have got facilitated in designing and manufacturing, also provided design registration facilitation. And this idea is presented in all India level. He has been awarded by Honorable Vice President of India. Your small idea, having lot of innovatives, can take you to a national level, can take you to the international level. So one should be aware of this, one should understand the importance of it. You can, this is another video. Coming to the conclusion, I would like to say a proper IP due diligence and IP protection is conducted in good faith is an indispensable key to achieving the objects of the seller and the purchaser in most cost-effective and time-bound fashion. And today's world, whenever we look at around anything we see, there is innovation behind this, and there is one IP intellectual property behind this, and there is an entrepreneur behind this. So innovation, IPR, intellectual property right, and entrepreneurs are connected by dots and strengthening the entire ecosystem. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind. With this, actually, with due apology, I regret because it has been extended for another half an hour. In fact, Dr. Pavan Kumar has already given permission, sir, if you can. And if time could have permitted, I could have shared some of the due diligence by FTO analysis reports. Due to lack of time, I am not in a position. Maybe look forward some other opportunity sometime in future to share. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It has been a very wonderful session all throughout. I could see from the chat box, like many people are praising your session like anything. Even I have no words to express them. I think because you have included so many examples, the live case studies, and you have covered the connect between innovation, intellectual property, and entrepreneurship in a very lively manner. I hope all the participants have enjoyed his session, especially at the end of the day. What happens is, like, many people may go into a sleeping kind of mood because from morning till evening participants have to listen. But of course, you have made a very big difference, and I find people being so active in the chat box. And regarding extending the time, I think no one has expressed any kind of difficulty in taking more time. So I hope you need not worry regarding the time, and for sure you have made a great impact in our program. And with this, I'll take a few questions, very quick questions, maybe one or two. There is a question: is the size of the country has some correlation with knowledge-based economy? Maybe due to the huge manpower, we are bringing lot of IT services rather than deep science and technology-based products. Your inputs, please.
Actually, when you talk about the innovation, IP size of the country does not matter. It is the spirit of the people. When you look at very small countries, when you look at the Global Innovation Index, when you look at the research and developments, technological advanced countries like Switzerland, Germany, France, UK, even Israel, so those are small countries having very low population. But one thing, there is a very strong ecosystem, there is connectivity, linkage, there is common industry, academia linkage, and there is a drive, there is a mechanism. So that is why, as per my opinion, the size doesn't matter. But when you relate, if there is similar kind of ecosystems, similar kind of support system you will be established in India, and the same spirit will be taken. And you look at our size, look at the population, look at our strength, demographic dividend. If you can convert it to that kind of spirit, that wealth, will be definitely much better than anybody. I think this is why I would like to reply.
Yes. And there's one more query. Does Udyam registration reimburse the patent filing fee charges to an individual also, or only it does to a company or startup? If it reimburses, then how to do such processing?
Here there are two things. Udyam registration is a registration in a Ministry of MSME database to give a proper recognition as a micro or small or medium industry, either the manufacturing sector or service sector. Scope is get defined. That gives a legal status primarily, which was earlier what was doing the respective district industry centers. People used to go and apply and get registered. Under the ease of doing business mechanism, all state governments and central government, they have their own registration procedure. And Government of India, Minister of MSME, it has already established Udyam registration, which was earlier Udyogadhar Memorandum Registration, which has been converted to Udyam registration. For the sake of information, I think Ministry of MSME has already made a circular. This previously Udyam registration, Udyogadhar Memorandum registration, which was valid up to March, it has been extended up to December. So it does not matter whether it is Udyogadhar Memorandum or Udyam registration, it gives only a legal status in the first hand to start the business, to get yourself recognized by putting all provided authenticated data and information in the database, and its registration is free of cost, so that you get a status and you can move forward. Now further coming about the reimbursement of the patent fee. Now actually there are two ways of support services to be provided. As you know, our NRDC, our Dr. B.K. Sahu sir is there. I could see, he is in the box. So he is the one of the veteran. He is supporting many such innovative ideas free of cost. And yesterday Dr. Purushottam was sharing his views, the NRDC role in the field of the patent facilitator services. They won't charge you, provided your idea is having patentability, it is having some novelty, it is having some credibility, it is worth for patenting. So they work for this. And as I was mentioning this, because it's a government procedure, takes some time. So one is you can avail these services at a free of cost. NRDC like such establishments are there. And apart from that, other IP facilitation services, IPFs is established on the different ministries. If you contact them, they will provide you services. Yes, now coming to the point of the fees, like you have to pay some government fee. Other IP facilitation services, they will not pay the fees for you. Whereas the NRDC makes it zero cost. They completely support your services without taking a single pie. You need not have to spend any single penny. But in that case, you have to pay very nominal fee, which is affordable by anybody. Now, as far as the reimbursement is concerned, in IP policy of both state government and central government, there are different IP policies are there. The reimbursement happens to only after getting the grant, whatever the fund has been granted, whatever has been already decided as a policy matter. And apart from that, in our startup India, there are many attorneys, as I mentioned earlier, there are many attorneys at national level, they are empaneled. If as a startup India registered organization, if you can connect with any such IP attorneys, you will get your service at free of cost. So absolutely nothing, fee is not a matter, but only thing your idea must have novelty, you must have passion to go ahead for this. Then you can start to look for all this kind of information.
Right. I think as you told, if we have motivation or if we have that commitment towards contributing something new which is innovative, I think nothing should be a limitation. There are enough number of schemes or methods or procedures by which the inventor or the innovator can get the support, either by the government agencies. Even if the idea or the invention or innovation is great, certainly even there are many private agencies which may also support. I hope so. And sir, like you pointed out rightly, like Dr. B.J. Kumar Sahu is there. He will be speaking tomorrow afternoon, maybe around between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And yesterday Dr. Purushottam was there. And I must say you that I was also associated with NRDC for some time, maybe about 8 months or so, where myself, Bijay and Purushottam sir, we were working together. So I think we have got a very good reconnect again through this program. And there are few more questions, but however, what I do is I'll capture them through my Google Forms and I'll share with you. And maybe whenever you find some time, you can share the answers, so that along with the certificate, we'll be circulating all these answers.
Yeah, that would be fine. Otherwise, also, as I mentioned, you can also share my mobile number or the email address. They can also contact you and contact me. They can mail to us because we are open. We can share.
Sure.
Even anything, I will not in a position to respond as per my limitation of the knowledge and ability. But definitely, I will see that you get your answer, question answered.
Sure, sir. Definitely, what we have planned is after the workshop, we'll be sharing the contact details of all the speakers with the participants, especially the email IDs, because mobile number, I think these aspects may not be of so urgent that only they have to be attended through mobile phone. They can very well write to you by email. Of course, I'll be sharing the mobile number also. So whichever is convenience, they can really contact you. And we are very happy that you have come forward to share your contact details, so that it will be a great benefit to all the participants here. With this, sir, I think many people are asking for your presentation because it has got lot of inputs. Like it is like a all-in-one package. Like in our 10th class during those times, I still remember all-in-one guide used to be there. One guide for all subjects. So it was the kind of presentation that you made today. If you can please share your presentation with us, we'll be so great. We'll be extracting some important material from that to share with the participants.
Definitely, I can share to you, and also I request all the esteemed participants, those here, in case they don't get, they one case get either this presentation or any other material beyond this also, they can write me my email address. I will provide them materials, whatever it is required. This will be really my pleasure to share all my information. No issue.
So really great, sir. Hats off to you for having contributed with such a great session. So with this, once again, I thank you very much for accepting our invitation and making your presence in our program. Thank you very much. And we look forward for our future collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. Wish you all a happy life and be safe at your place. Namaskar. Jai Jagannath.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Close?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.